He has been starting a little bit here and there. Alisson back in the lineup after his first time on the bench this season.
He has a nagging injury. So Parks knows that.
Yeah, he said that, didn't he, Quill?
Yeah, he said that to me the last 2 weeks.
He's played DM, center, mid, and center back. He's played all over the place.
Play right back. So that's kind of interesting. I bet I could do it.
A short bench.
We have to impress tonight.
Yeah?
We're the only game going on in the USL.
This is very true. At least the first half till the Heat game starts. And everybody's going to...
I'm feeling nervous right now. I don't know why.
Nervous?
I don't know. I'm always nervous. It's not a bad thing.
Some games, I don't know why. Sometimes the games I over prep for, I get like more nervous than what the games I... Peppy! Games did he score? He scored what, 11 goals last season?
11, yeah. Yeah, I don't know why North Texas has a small bench.
The Fid.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, if you need possible point standings, I also have that. Which I've been using for a while.
They do have a short week next week because they got 3 games next week. But well, 3 games, Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday.
Teams above 34 possible points. They are who you think they would be.
Sandy Peacock. That is such crap, she said about.
What, to Ashley?
Was that?
To what? Chris Ashley?
About Pepe, yeah. That's because somebody, his brother's cousin's wife, told him that they weren't allowed to.
They're not.
I know it was in response to me about Pepe.
Here's the thing. If the USL's not enforcing it, they can do whatever they want.
I should have done. It's just funny that that was Chris's big thing in the pod was the affiliate teams are struggling because they can't bring guys. And then they bring Pepe. I should have texted you. I should have been like, it would be really funny if they brought Pepe down tonight. Is there any college football tonight? I know FAU aren't playing tomorrow. Oh, jeez. Oh, tied with FAU. Nice. Middle Tennessee UTSA tonight. That gem from the Conference USA. Middle Tennessee are 0-2. Louisiana Lafayette ranked 19th. FAU should be ranked. We haven't played a game, but we should still be ranked.
Yeah, I have my little research tidbit for the match. We'll see if I can get it in. I'll surprise you.
About your...
Someone on the Harks coaching tree.
Oh.
There are very few.
You're going to surprise me. All right.
Last October, it was North Texas SC hoisting the cup against the Greenville Triumph. Well, this time in 2020, it's the Triumph in the top spot of the table, hosting the defending champions in tonight's match, presented by Hilton of Greenville. Once again, I'm Chris Bukovic. Alongside me, Ross Davenport, getting set for this matchup Friday night in USL League One. Feels like it was just yesterday, Ross, last October, when North Texas SC was able to take down the Greenville Triumph for the first ever League One trophy. And 18 shots, 7 on target for the Triumph, not enough to get by North Texas and their defense.
Yeah, one guy that Greenville will be glad not to see tonight is Kyle Zobek, the now FC Dallas keeper, who made some great saves in this game.
Arturo Rodriguez, the League One MVP, striking true. 1-0 enough to get that League One title for North Texas SC. But a lot of things different here in 2020. New faces, of course, on either side. North Texas, they really need the second half run to vault up the table.
Yeah, the crazy thing is they only have 2 losses, which is the same amount as Greenville, but those 5 ties have really killed them so far. If they turn those into a couple of wins, they'd be way up the table.
The Triumph trying to extend their lead at the top from 7 points to maybe 10 by the end of the evening. Part of that could be their right back, Cesar Murillo. He's your Joan Herlong and Associates player to watch.
Yeah, John Harks brought Murillo in to provide some depth and flexibility across the back line. He can play centre back and full back, and he's made some real key defensive stops. Obviously, he had the assist as well in this beautiful strike by Noah Pilato.
The FC Dallas Academy product, of course, played with North Texas SC last year. 13 appearances, 7 starts for Eric Quill. Someone to keep an eye on as he faces off with some of his former teammates. One player that is new to North Texas, even in the last few games, 2 starts so far for Nicky Hernandez, a goal and an assist for someone that Eric Quill says has a lot of star power out there.
Hey, listen, the SMU product, John Harks and Eric Quill were both raving about him. This was a great finish to tie the game last weekend.
A comeback draw, down a man for North Texas SC. They'll look for Nicky Hernandez in the midfield along with Alisson to try and dictate things out there. Well, North Texas, they're looking to leap up the League One table, show that they are back for a second half run. Greenville trying to extend the lead at the top. Who will budge in this League One final rematch from a year ago? Coming up next on ESPN+.
We offer a full array of dental treatment, and what that provides you as a patient is you're able to come to one place and get comprehensive care under one roof.
I've always been greeted with a smile. They know me when I call. I trust them.
We'd love to see you at Wood Creek Dental. Visit us at woodcreekdental.com.
What's Greenville's best-kept secret for auto loans? Greenville Heritage Federal Credit Union. If you're on the market for a new car, visit Greenville Heritage before you start shopping to get pre-approved and save yourself a lot of hassle and a whole lot of money. Or refinance your current car loan for a better interest rate. It's a simple process that could save you hundreds of dollars. Visit greenvilleheritage.com to find the branch nearest you and start saving money. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Health. Suddenly that word seems more important these days. as it's consumed all aspects of our lives and made our universes feel smaller than ever. But at Bon Secours, your health has always been our top priority, and we're staying as committed as always to personalizing the right care for you. Because whether here or from home, we believe your health care should always revolve around you. Bon Secours, primary care for the universe of you. Visit bonsecours.com/primary care to connect with a provider today.
Welcome back here into the upstate of South Carolina for a match presented by Hilton of Greenville. Let's see who John Harkes has out there tonight in our starting 11, Ross, as he comes off of that victory over the Chattanooga Red Wolves on the road 1-0 a week ago. Our lineup's presented by Bon Secours.
Well, I would say the biggest news here in this lineup is the change to more of a 4-4-2 attacking formation, with Jake Keegan coming in alongside. Perhaps we'll just play just behind Lachlan McLean. JJ Donnelly also in, both replacing Klaus and Mohammed.
Tweaking the formation just a bit. Let's see the Bon Secours starting 11 for North Texas.
Obviously, the big news here is Ricardo Pepe making his first start for North Texas since that semi-final win. He scored 2 goals in that game. Look at that bench for North Texas with Damas and Redzik providing plenty of firepower perhaps in the second half.
Kind of similar to the Chattanooga side we saw against the Triumph last week. A lot of firepower off the bench. We'll see how Eric Quill chooses to use it tonight, along with Ricardo Pepe coming over from FC Dallas for this match, fitting of a League One final rematch here in the upstate tonight.
Well, this one was going to be an interesting matchup regardless, but with Ricardo Pepe suddenly showing up.
Please join us for a moment of silence
Now we'll
as we are all
take a pause for a unifying moment between these two competitors on the field today. After that powerful moment, ready to get going here from Greenville, South Carolina. We're off and running. North Texas SC and the Greenville Triumph for the first time since they met in the 2019 USL League One final. Again, I'm Chris Bukovic, alongside me, Ross Davenport. Happy to have you with us on this Friday night action in USL League One. Greenville at the top of the table. North Texas trying to prove that they can make a second half run. Of course, meanwhile, bringing a few of their pieces from 2019 surely will help that effort.
Yeah, listen, the ties they've been getting have been having them hang around. They've only got the 2 losses on the board, and now with this firepower and Arturo Rigas and now Ricardo Pepe, you're obviously not sure how long he'll be hanging around for. He played on Wednesday night for FC Dallas in their 1-0 loss to Atlanta United. Only played 7 minutes, so clearly fresh enough to start this one. We'll see how John Harkes. I'm sure he was surprised to see Pepe in the lineup. We'll see if he tweaks things a little bit at the back to deal with that threat.
Pepe, 10 appearances for FC Dallas, in MLS this season. Funny enough, he was not part of the 18 in the USL League One final. As Ross mentioned, a big part of the semifinal win over forward Madison. Let's take a look at our keys to the game, presented by McMillan Pasden Smith.
Yeah, we see there for Greenville, utilizing the space. John Harkes talked to us this week about he really wants to see his players, especially the front guys, moving into space before the ball is played, sort of anticipating the pass. He thinks they've been waiting too long for the ball to be delivered. And for North Texas, Eric Quill, that was the first thing he said to us on the press conference this week, was about the last game where they really showed belief and that they're still in this race for the top 2, and 2 or 3 wins in a row could really vault them up towards Greenville into contention. But this is obviously not going to be an easy win by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, the thing about 2020, you really get an appreciation for that 2019 defense of North Texas. This year, North Texas allowing 1.56 goals per game. That's 9th in the league. They've been porous at the back, but they have been shoring up this midfield of late. They've gotten Alvarez back from injury. He's at right back today. Of course, Alisson, as well as Nicky Hernandez solidifying in the midfield, and Eric Cole telling us this week, frankly, they're both competitors. They are game winners, and he's hoping that competitiveness is something that is a difference maker in tight matches. 1-0 maybe leading late in a match like today, perhaps. Well, here comes Morel back the other way. Morel around the keeper. Still in there. Alex Morel into the side netting. You couldn't ask for a better opportunity, but waited a bit too long.
Alex Morel, he took that one extra touch. We'll see, it was a complete gift from Nicky Hernandez, who we talked about as being such a key player. It was a great interception, though. Got around Aviles, and he really could have put it with his left foot there, took that extra touch, and that was the difference. Tried to toe poke it with his right foot. May come back to haunt the guys in green. You can see Alex Morel there ruin that miss.
Tied for the lead in assists this season. Couldn't find the goal there. You have to give credit to the captain, Breck Evans, at the back there, one of the consistent faces in the bunch, coming back from his loan over to Austin Bolden USL Championship after not making an appearance. Sliding in there and able to at least quell the opportunity for a moment. He's unfortunately down after sliding in there on that turf.
He may have either, I'm not sure if he clipped the post or if he just caught his toe perhaps in the turf, but what an early chance for for Greenville. Chris, you and I talked about what an early goal might do to change this game for either team. We almost had it. We really should have had it.
Well, we talked about North Texas having problems defensively so far this year. They've shored up the front line, the midfield, and now the defense left to be there as the back pairing in center backs, Justin Che as well as Breck Evans back there. And they see Justin Che as potential center back of the future as we check out the Southern Culture Hospitality Group replay. Let's see what happened. And you'll see Morel, because of that slide, he took that extra touch.
It looks like he may have just perhaps carpet burned himself on the turf. Obviously something he didn't need to do in the end, as you see Morel with his head in his hands at that poor attempt at a finish. Looks like Breck Evans is going to be okay. He's going to feel that one, though. And they're saying he's going to have to be substituted. That's unfortunate.
Wow.
Part of the problem with this turf is that when you slide on this stuff, it could really burn you. And he almost slid early, it looked like, Chris. He was just trying to anticipate the shot from Morel. It was a brave attempt. It looks like that's going to be the end of the night for Breck Evans, unfortunately. And with a short bench tonight, North Texas may have to move some things around here. They do have Kevin Bonilla on the bench. He's more of a fullback. As you can see, Carlos Aviles and his back line trying to figure things out here.
Well, here's the opportunity that comes, and luckily at right back is a central midfielder. Kevin Bonilla comes on, who started in the recent matches coming back. He was supposed to play at University of Portland this fall. Because of the pandemic restrictions, he's with North Texas the rest of the year. And funny enough, now Alvarez can step up into the central midfield, and I assume Alisson will come back to center back, someone that can play center back. We saw it in the first half of their draw with Orlando City B a few weeks ago. They put him back in the midfield. They see that as his strength, but he should slide back, and that should be a like-for-like switch, at least at center back. We'll see if Alvarez can get into this midfield and active early on. A huge loss early on. Breck Evans, the captain last year to the League One title, and again, the captain now in 2020.
The way he's walking, I'm wondering, Chris, if he actually pulled his hamstring. An early slide like that before you've even had much of a time to warm up. Obviously, there's a good gap between the actual warm-up and the start of the game. Perhaps he just pulled a hamstring with that desperation slide. Hopefully, Breck Evans doesn't miss too much time. He's such a key at the back for North Texas.
And we talked about getting the band back together. Eric Quill, well, one of those faces, Kevin Bonilla, not one of those known star commodities putting in the back of the net, but a consistent presence last year. 14 appearances, 13 starts for Eric Quill on the way to the League One title. Just at 19 years old. Turned 19 last week as Tyler Pollock will take this throw in.
I think you're right, Chris. It looks like Alvarez has jumped up into the defensive midfield spot, and Alisson will go to center back.
Through ball stopped just in time by Evan Lee. Now Derek Waldeck. Giving away right back. Pilado, who's been brilliant with the striking off the volleys so far this season. He had the winner against Chattanooga last week. That's too far. Out for a goal kick. A lot of pressure as well on Aviles now at the back. Has to reorganize a bit without his captain out there. We'll see how North Texas handles this. You talk about a huge moment to start a game between two juggernauts here in League One, where you have a captain have to leave the game in the back line, and then on top of it, Morel, he puts one wide, that wide open goal to say the least.
Certainly plenty of action this early in the game. Both teams also giving it away pretty cheaply. You can See Jake Keegan play that 10 role behind Lachlan McLean. Jake Keegan can play anywhere. We've seen him play on the wing, 10 at 9. John Hart's just looking. He wants to get that second goal. He told us he's tired of winning games 1-0. Obviously, the injection of Jake Keegan perhaps should help with that.
And he said to us on the call this week, I have to find a way to get Lachlan and Jake out there together. And, well, there it is. We kind of figured we'd see a 4-4-2 after that comment. That's what he came out with. Now Donnelly heads it on. Yellow boots of the Australian striker. He goes down. Free kick early on outside the box for Greenville.
We saw Lachlan McLean's talent with his back to goal when he scored earlier this season. That was more work there just outside the box and got sandwiched. And this is a very dangerous position for a free kick here from Greenville. We'll probably see Aaron Walker perhaps whip one in towards the end of the 6-yard box, see if he can get Avalos to commit. Yeah, there's definitely a foul there.
Two-man wall out there.
Key with these kind of free kicks is really the pace. If you get it up too high and slow, Avalos will come out and get it. But if you can get it low enough and quick enough to make him make a decision, as well as the defenders, sometimes these even go in without a touch.
The two captains over the ball. Now Pollock takes a chance in there, headed away. Walker back over to the left back of Greenville. Now Morrell against Smith, out of play. The goal kick is ruled back over to North Texas.
And the free kick was well defended there by North Texas. Had plenty of bodies in. Intercept that Polak, left-footed effort.
Back over just like that to the Triumph. Donnelly skying it towards Morrell. Can he get there? Yes, he can. Scoops it in there. Good run by Walker. Now Pilato. Walker again. Polak whiffing a bit. Donnelly has to rescue it. Greenville will get possession at the back with Dallas J.
One key John Harks really talked to us about the last couple of games was where Aaron Walker was positioning himself. John Harks had him playing. If you watched the replay of that game last week, he was playing super high, especially on the press. He was almost playing as a striker when they were pressing, but John Harks likes him to sit a little further back. He mentioned the reason he was doing that was to keep Jose Sueldo a little more honest, to come back and have to come back and get the ball deep. Him and Pilato being a two-man center mid is normally in there with a third man in Paul Klaus. We'll see how that connection works out tonight.
Long throw brought down by McLean from far out, deflected by Roberts and then out of play. And this will be a corner kick to the Triumph, presented by PNC Corners for Kids.
Texas having a bit of trouble getting out their half here in the last couple of minutes.
PNC Corners for Kids, taken by your
Alex
Greenville
Morrell
Triumph.
can deliver here from the left side.
Morrell, 2 goals this season, along with those 4 assists we mentioned. Leads the team with 20 created chances. Greenville has only scored once in the first 15 minutes of a match this season. Let's see if they can find one here. Morrell puts it in. Aviles off his line, and a foul is called. Fricky colliding with the opposing keeper.
It was a brave decision to come out for that one by Aviles, and he paid for it. It's almost a 50-50 ball, but listen, the goalkeeper's always going to get the decision from the referee in that kind of situation. It was a good corner in by Morrell. Fricky committed to it. Yeah, they got there right about the same time, but again, goalkeeper's always going to get the protection from the referee. We've already seen, as I say, this season we've already seen one opposing goalkeeper go out with an ankle injury. It looks like Aviles maybe try to walk this one off. He's hurting, perhaps on the landing.
Luckily for North Texas, their backup has seen plenty of time on the field so far. 4 starts for Zamudio. But hopefully, Aviles can continue. And Zamudio is stretching a bit just in case.
I think it was it Akira Fitzgerald, Chris, that went off injured. He had the ankle injury and then hung on bravely till halftime, went off, and then Greenville scored, I think, in the first minute after halftime. And we'll see if Aviles is okay. The problem with ankle injuries and goalkeepers is that that's what you push off when you dive. And if you're feeling it in the ankle, it's gonna hinder you for sure. See if he manages to work this one off.
We saw him right there, the League One MVP, Arturo Rodriguez, back once again, making his third start. He's out on loan with Real Monarchs, didn't make as much playing time as was desired, really, and he's back with North Texas SC now. Only 2 appearances on that loan.
Corners for kids taken by your
Yeah,
Greenville
one thing the short season really hurt for teams was, for players coming up to the championship was they haven't had as many games to be looked at. So a lot of these coaches in the championship have just been relying on what they know. Same with Chris Bermudez, hasn't played much either. Former Greenville Triumph player. Oh, that's some shenanigans going on in the 6-yard box.
Another PNC corner for kids. We're seeing some great physicality here, 14 minutes on.
So Greenville crowding the 6-yard box. No real, let's see if they've got any runners coming late, but obviously trying to get some kind of design play going here.
William Steffen, our head official for tonight's action. Back post, Donnelly almost got there. Now Waldeck will look to clear. He does, but not far enough. It finds Donnelly on the deflection. No, Che trying to get the attack going. Smith loses it briefly. Jake Keegan back helping out defensively. Now Walker. Ending that attack from North Texas SC. McLean on the run, met by Alison. McLean end line goes down. Foul is called. And a free kick awarded to the Greenville Triumph.
Well, I thought that was amazing defensive work by Alison. I understand why you can see the North Texas players are upset. We'll see again Lachlan McLean here. He was trying to take him on to the right. I thought that was a good step in front by Alison. Seems like the linesman may have made the call. Sorry, assistant referee. Another dangerous free kick for Greenville.
Now a couple options on this free kick. Morel, Walker, Pollock all standing there. Pollock, back post, Donnelly back in there. Walker stepping up, still Walker. Fires deflected away, and numbers moving forward for North Texas. Stopped there by Pollock. And
yellow card for Tyler Pollock. Good professional foul though, had to stop that quick break.
It is indeed for Pollock.
Referee has issued a caution against Greenville Triumphs number 3, Tyler Pollock.
Tripping up Thomas Roberts from behind.
It's one you'd like to see your players take, but perhaps not this early. 15 minutes in, and your fullback now with 1 yellow card. He's got to be careful. I won't be too jealous of him. Have Ronaldo Damas and Benny Redzik come on and try to take him on that left side. We'll see how long John Harks sticks with Tyler Pollock in that second half. I think he's played almost every minute of this season, if not every minute.
Alvarez coming all the way back. Keegan with the pressure up the field.
That was a very strange free kick. This time trying to rebuild it, to go all the way back to your keeper when you got a free kick at halfway.
Well, if there's something fun to watch tonight, it's the physicality, these matchups in the midfield. Walker, Roberts, and others going at it so far.
Yeah, you can see North Texas clearly watched that Chattanooga match from last weekend.
Back the other way, North Texas on the run, given right back, Fricky. Clears it, not far enough though. Pepe brings it down, cleared by Pollock.
The thing about Chattanooga's physicality last week, they're obviously coming off a 3-game stretch in 8 days, and they went super physical in the first half and kind of ran out of gas in the second. They made 100 fewer passes in that second half than they did in the first half last weekend, and obviously Greenville with the late winner.
Pepe flicks it on, but it will be a throw-in over to the Triumph. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. Select is the official ball supplier of USL League One and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. And Select ball staying over with Polak as he moves up the field.
Seen J.J. Donnelly get involved early in a lot of aerial battles. He really brings that extra dimension to the wing for Greenville.
Flicked on, and Jay will clear this. Well, last time we saw him on this field, he went toe-to-toe with Eli Lockaby of Forward Madison. Quite a battle they had, and Donnelly almost had a goal, if not for a Philip Marchetta save.
He's provided a real spark off the bench most of the year, J.J. Donnelly is. Pilato gets clipped from behind.
Well, here's Murillo stepping up to take this free kick. To say the least, Derek Quill has his eye on him, called him part of their game plan as they head into this match. And certainly you can understand it, a player that he knows saw training each and every day last year. They know his weaknesses as well as his strengths. And a player that unfortunately is playing out of position, but has been strong there at the right back spot. Now Fricky. Avila's off his line, he takes it. North Texas, a team that likes to build up with possession. They were playing awfully quick early on.
Well, that's one thing Eric Quill mentioned to us. You have to be quick and move this ball fast against this Greenville Triumph defense. He talked about getting those, trying to get those one-on-one. We saw it earlier, one little bit on the left-hand side. He got one of those one-on-one, two-on-two opportunities, and he said, if you breathe for a minute, Greenville will be back there with the double team super quickly. So yeah, they're going to try and move it quickly. One thing that might help them with that tonight is the lack of the extra man in midfield, in the center and midfield for Greenville. Normally play with that three-man center mid. Normally Pilato playing behind Walker and Klaus, and they kind of move around a little bit, but it's just the two men in the middle tonight for Greenville.
Jay lets that into the box, he takes it in. And Eric Quill, one of just a few coaches that can say they exploited this Greenville defense last year fairly well. 2 times, in fact, the League One final. And also early in the season, the beginning of May, it was Thomas Roberts in the 23 kit tonight on the field that scored on Dallas J to get a 1-0 victory over Greenville on the road.
Yeah, Dallas J wanted that one back. I remember the Roberts, it was a good strike, but he got a slight defection off a Greenville leg, and that gave it the top spin that really caused Dallas J issues. He got a good hand on it, but couldn't keep it out. Thomas Roberts, John Harks talked about him and his quality play. He says he's not particularly disciplined with his positional play, but sometimes that can really cause difficulties for opposing midfields, because they often wonder where you're supposed to be and what you're not where you're supposed to be at times. No, he's a talented player. He's obviously been up with the MLS team this season.
Donnelly out to McLean. Couple numbers forward for the Triumph. McLean looking up, whips it in there. Donnelly on the run to the right side. Donnelly to the end line. Cross stopped in its tracks by Roberts and cleared.
Good work back there by Roberts. It was an interesting ball crossed by McLean. Almost had too much pace for anybody in the middle, but it did find J.J. Donnelly, who's found himself in some open space so far in these first 21 minutes.
Now Fricky, of course with Lansing Ignite last year, saw North Texas a few times himself. Polak, quick turn, trying to get the numbers forward as Walker takes over. Hark's telling us this week that he loves Walker on the ball and maestro when he has it, dictating the field. He runs this pivot in the middle. Oh, a good stop there by Fricky, keeping Rodriguez off the ball, but miscommunication with Morel there.
And you'll see Walker and Pilato sort of flip-flop roles occasionally, one playing behind the other, give each other a break, having to push forward or chase back.
Back to Jay. Only keeper now in League One with a GAA below 1, all the way down at .55. That's the team's overall GAA. He's the only keeper that has started the season for the Triumph. That's good for first in League One. Murillo battling with his former teammate Pepe, and this will go the way of the Greenville right back.
Ricardo Pepe obviously not agreeing with the decision, but good defending there by Cesar Murillo, his former teammate. Murillo made a good angle to the ball. Yeah, it was just a little leg around the leg trip from Pepe. As you can hear, the Reedy River Riot giving Pepe some grief from behind the goal.
If you need a reminder about what Pepe did in League One last year, 11 goals, 1 assist in his 13 appearances, but saw more time with FC Dallas as the year went on, getting 7 appearances with Dallas, along with 2 starts in the Open Cup, as he was a homegrown signing for the side in June of 2019. Of course, as soon as he left League One, Renato Damus appeared and ended up winning the Golden Boot.
Yeah.
Endless talent, as John Harkes even told us from this FC Dallas Academy.
Well, the thing I remember was all the fans were celebrating that Ricardo Pepe wasn't going to be in League One anymore, and then Renato Damas pops up and it's like, oh, maybe we want Pepe back. But yeah, this FC Dallas Academy just continues to produce an amazing amount of talent for this team. And John Harkes said, look, don't pay attention to their results so far this season. This is a very good team. And if they'd have turned any of, maybe 2 or 3 of those 5 draws into a win, they would be way up the table, further up the table than they are at the moment.
Yeah, you keep mentioning it, not in the loss column, in the draw column for them this season. 5 draws so far. As Greenville's back on the attack, this will be cleared. Pretty high hang time, though. Polak. Morel keeps it in play.
No, great job of keeping it in play, just unlucky with the touch there. Good to see Tyler Polak pinching in to help out his midfield teammates ahead of him. We've seen Tyler Polak push a little more further forward the last few games.
North Texas building up the field. Oh, nice service over the top here. Jay off his line and volleys it away.
Greenville's fans' hearts were in their mouths on that one. Dallas J came from a long way back, made the decision to go for it. As a keeper, you have to just go with your gut, and got there quick enough. It was lucky the ball kind of sat up for Dallas J.
Pilado will take it through the back to Fricky. Now Morel. Hold up play there from Murillo. Polak in there. McLean brings it down. Now Hernandez trying to get it out of there.
Just a bit of a heavy touch there by Lachlan McLean, but John Harkes will be happy to see Nicky Hernandez coming back super deep to help out his back forward. But one thing they don't want to see is him charging forward.
Now Walker upended, all ball. Bonilla playing it back. Morel open. Morel fires right at Aviles. Scooped in.
Yeah, Alex Morel was clearly looking to redeem himself, but if he'd looked up, he had 3 teammates charging into space on the left-hand side of the box. He'd probably be more wise to have looked up and laid one off to a teammate. But
now Roberts. Out wide, good look here as Rodriguez is wide open against Murillo. Cuts back around though to Roberts. Roberts fires, deflected, up and away. Fricky helping out, getting the quarter kick over to North Texas.
yeah, I thought Arturo Rodriguez may have taken Murillo on. This is almost exactly the spot that he scored from last year. Got another deflection, but this one took it over the bar, resulting in the corner for North Texas.
Ball lofted in, back post, headed away by Donnelly. Up the field he looks. And it's back to North Texas. Fans, make sure to follow North Texas SC or the Greenville Triumph, along with the rest of the USL League One all season long on ESPN+. Home to the USL, MLS, UFC, and more. Join the nearly 8 million sports fans who have already discovered ESPN+ and watch League One live every week. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com. Of course, the League One final coming up at the end of October, but also announced the USL Championship final will take place on ESPN on November 1st. That's Sunday, November 1st.
Yeah, it's exciting stuff to see the championship on the big network.
First time it's ever on ESPN. Now, a reminder, Murph is a wine that stands for something, more importantly, someone. Expert winemaker, former brewer, and part-time Rolling Stone. He believes in using quality ingredients paired with honest hard work. Experience this expert American craftsmanship now in both bottles and cans. Ask for it by his name, Murph Wines. Now Murillo back the other way on the right side. Good run by Morel in behind. But there goes the ball, and there goes Alisson once again. Very active after moving over to that center back spot.
Yeah, it's a nice run there from Morel. Murillo's pass just a little heavy. Things have slowed down here a little bit over the last few minutes. Bit of a frantic first 25, though it was, no doubt about it. Greenville could conceivably be 2-0 up.
Locked down. Check out what happened here. If you're just joining us to see it in the backdrop, Breck Evans stretching out his leg there. He had to be subbed out due to injury a few minutes into the match.
Polak just lost his footing. Just landed a little awkwardly.
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee has indicated.
And now we've hit our first hydration break of the night. 0-0 at the break, but plenty of action so far. One shot for North Texas, 4 for Greenville, but just 1 on target. Well, let's take a look at the newest player added this week for North Texas SC as they hit the field tonight. And I'm sure the fans really enjoyed seeing that lineup card on social media come their way. Ricardo Pepi, such a talent in League One. He's really the first name I think of when covering the league last year.
No, for sure. It was the first season of the league, and he was the first real superstar up front for North Texas. And yet, I think every other team doesn't want to see him back, but North Texas is certainly glad to see him on the field and see if he gets on the score sheet tonight.
Yeah, the product out of El Paso. Earlier tonight, I saw the news that Tommy Silva will be heading to college. He's committed to UCLA to starting this fall from Tucson, of course, the left back out there. He's at 18 years old. Well, Pepe, he's at 17 years old, to give you some perspective on the age ranges of these teams. Incredible young talent we have here across USL League One.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So many teenagers, and just crazy to think that 16, 17, what we were doing, Chris, not playing professional soccer, that's for sure, but it's great to see them, a lot of these teenagers at the moment, stuck. Because I know there's a lot of them going back to school now, but plenty of them were stuck doing homeschooling for a while. But getting these teenagers out here earning their keep playing soccer is amazing. We've got so many talented 16-year-olds especially.
Yeah, I remember talking to Eric Quill 2 weeks ago when we found out that Arturo Rodriguez would be coming back and making an appearance against at FC Tucson in their 2-0 win. And I asked him about the leadership that Arturo Rodriguez brings back, and he made the point, well, he better bring some leadership. He's one of the older guys on the squad. He's 21 years old out there.
It's crazy to think, right? Well, listen, North Texas, again, only a couple of draws turned into wins, and they'd be right up there. It's just a question, is it too little too late? They could really do with a win tonight. A win tonight would put some pressure on the teams above them. We do have Fort Lauderdale coming up next weekend, and then a big one at Chattanooga. They've got 3 games coming up in the space of 8 days, starting with that game next Saturday, so including one against Richmond.
Now Rodriguez playing it back as we get things going again. One-goal games, as last week, have been the forte of Greenville. Not just this year, but last year as well. Like those tight battles, we have one so far for you, 0-0. And a rematch of the 2019 League One final, North Texas SC and the Greenville Triumph. This is the only match you'll see between each other here in 2020. Again, I'm Chris McCovic alongside me, Ross Sevenport. Happy to have you with us for this Friday night coverage of USL League One. Donnelly a little light on that through ball as Alisson plays it back over to Aviles. Che lays it down the right side. Some struggles this season for the North Texas defense, but their offense up there tops a spot in USL League One at 1.67 goals per game. Now Roberts to the right side around Polak. Stopped in its tracks. Polak over to Lee, and it's cleared downfield.
And once again, great trademark tracking back from Tyler Polak. He's probably the best left back in League One, is showing it there.
Advantage played as Pilato takes it up the field. Now Donnelly out wide. Whips it over, the one hop into the arms of Aviles. Well, the numbers for the North Texas defense haven't looked great so far this year. They have looked solid in the last three, going 1-0-2, including only allowing 2 goals in those matches and getting their first clean sheet of the season. Wayside trying to slow things down a bit, break down this Triumph attack.
That's a good ball.
Now Smith, the quick turn, moves it out to the right. Ball sent in, dribbles on through, Fricky the clearance.
Brandon Fricky, right place at right time. It seems, I don't know how many times him and Evan Lee did that last week against Chattanooga. It's just a big part of being a center back, is predicting where that cross is going to come. And Brandon Fricky was right where he was supposed to be there. It was a good ball through.
Fricky, a huge addition for Greenville this season. Leads the team in clearances and blocks, all league second team last year.
It was just ahead of Colin Smith, that ball.
Throw in for Polak. Roberts going down. Polak the foul. Already on a yellow, so we'll see if this is just a talking to.
Tyler Polak's got to be very, very careful. That probably wasn't a yellow card foul, but if he gets another one of those in the next couple of minutes, Greenville could find themselves down to 10 men. Dangerous position here for Arturo Rodriguez, perhaps, although Nicky Hernandez wants a piece of it.
Two-man wall for the Triumph here at home in front of the Reedy River Riot.
Actually, I think that might be Alvarez. That's Juan Alvarez, I think, preparing to take this one.
Mexican midfielder standing over the ball. Service in, back post, floats through, and it's a corner kick over to North Texas SC.
Cesar Maria was in good position goal side. All he could really do was knock it out for a corner. North Texas really playing themselves back into this one the last 10 minutes or so.
Rodriguez will take it. 5 created chances in his 2 matches so far with North Texas in 2020. Takes this one. Whipped in, headed cleared. Baldeck, missed hit on that. And now Greenville may be on the attack. Keegan the other way. And by Che, the center back. This goes the way of the home side.
Yeah, just a little too much weight put into that one from Che.
Quick restart for Greenville. Murillo all the way down the field and stays with the Triumph. 5 of Greenville's 14 goals this season coming in the first half. Trying to find one here. 8 minutes plus stoppage time remaining for halftime. Headed back where it started. Now Murillo once again against Rodriguez. Pilato. Service over. Still alive. Volley back through, but out of play. It's over to North Texas.
It seems like Alex Morel was sort of caught in two minds there about whether to try a spectacular left-footed volley or just try to hook it back, and didn't end up really doing either.
John Harkes. We're seeing things here. Always one to adapt to the situation. We'll see what his thoughts are and changes on the field at halftime. At his side, going 1-2-1 against North Texas in all 4 matches last year. Trying to get one in the win column for the matchup here in 2020 as Smith is called for the foul. Lee will take this one, native of Toledo. Shot comes, but a dribbler at the near post. Aviles was there. Racing up and down the field, but only 5 shots combined between the two teams. Excuse me, 6 now after that last shot. 1 on target. That in favor of the Triumph.
See Taylor Roberts almost, Thomas Roberts almost man marking Aaron Walker. Greenville need to get, here he's on the ball now, get Aaron Walker a little more involved. He was all around the ball the first 15, 20 minutes or so, but he's been quiet since then. John Harkes talked about he wants the offense to go through him as much as possible. He's dropped back into that deeper role a little bit since early in this game behind Pilato. Here comes North Texas, but that's offside.
Offsides flag is up on Smith on the right flank. These two teams definitely going punch for punch in this lineup of action tonight. North Texas, the top team in League One, among the 8 clubs that have played in 2019 and 2020 in road win percentage. Greenville, the top team in home win percentage. Keep in mind, North Texas got the win last year. Legacy Early College, as we have a collision. Walker is down.
That was just the header to the back of the head of Aaron Walker. Unfortunate accident. Hopefully both players are okay. Both going to hear bells ringing, there's no doubt about it. Let's take another look at it here. Oof, actually was more Aaron Walker with the flick, just ended up heading the North Texas player, which is Juan Alvarez, in the front of his head. Don't see that one too often. One thing I will say about Ricardo Pepe, I think he's grown more than when he was in League One last. He looks a lot taller. He was tall enough when he was here the first time, but it seems like he went through a late growth spurt, perhaps. You see him standing next to some of the other guys. Aaron Walker getting some attention.
Already had one big star player have to leave the match due to injury.
This would be, I'm not going to predict anything, this would be a big loss if Aaron Walker has to leave the field. You can see him getting his vision checked.
And right before halftime as well, this would be a tough task here for John Harkes to decipher. Like for switch maybe Clows in there if he does have to come out, or do you have to maybe change your tactics in a formation?
Yeah, Paul Clows is great on the defensive side of things, but he's not the ball-playing midfielder that Aaron Walker is. Carlos Gomez obviously out with a shoulder injury. He would be sort of the second most creative player that Greenville have in the middle. It seems like Aaron Walker's okay. Maybe a bit groggy though. He's certainly going to have to come off here for a minute. Alvarez trying to shake some of the cobwebs off. Yeah, and Walker's still feeling that one. She'll look at the ice on that bump. Is nice word there from Alvarez.
continue those concussion test protocols. But yeah, Aaron Walker, hopefully he can continue for the Triumph. Huge part of their run last year, of course. 3 goals, 1 assist, and 29 starts, along with his leadership at the top. Now Polak lining in for this free kick. Right side of the box, Donnelly heads it back over. McLean there, chests it down, volley back up, now Pepe will clear. Alvarez back on the field for North Texas as Keegan deflects that out of play.
See Eric Quill angry about it. He was looking for the push from Lachlan McLean in the box. Arturo Rodriguez continuing to talk to the referee. That's been a theme so far this evening. As you can see, Eric Quill's not particularly happy with that non-call.
Hernandez, Roberts, now Polak. McLean, out to Donnelly. Rio making a long run besides Donnelly. Tries to work it through, no one there making the run though.
I think JJ Donnelly thought Lachlan McLean was going to drift to the right. He ended up drifting the other way. See what he had in mind though, JJ Donnelly.
Donnelly making start number 2 on the season. Key part of that run to the League One final for Greenville last year after he joined late in the season. From Tormenta 2, 8 appearances, 7 starts. An even bigger role once Jake Keegan went down. Was out for the rest of the year along with Max Hemmings.
One thing you tend to forget is the injuries that Greenville have suffered this year. John Harks was talking about it to us in the conference call earlier this week. He's missing basically 4 starters that he could perhaps have out there. It's a good chunk of your starting lineup. It shows how good his depth is this season, perhaps compared to last season. As I was testing you, Chris, before the game, about how many of the bench players from last year's final are back for Greenville this year. The answer is 0. So we've got a lot more contributors in the 18 this year for John Harks.
Polak intercepting it. Walker back on for Greenville as we hit stoppage time here in the first half. 6 minutes of stoppage time. Morrell knocking it back over. McLean laid it off. A miscommunication. Keegan not taking the chance.
Not sure who called Lachlan McLean off that one, but somebody definitely did and then wasn't able to get there in time.
There it is on the board. 6 minutes of stoppage time. Presented by
official
Warehouse
has
Services
indicated 6
Incorporated.
minutes of stoppage time for the first half.
Those injuries in the first half and the hydration break, plenty of time for either team to strike before the halftime whistle. Now Keegan. McLean. Taken down by either Sohn. We play on. Ball over the top. There's Jay. The train as well.
Train perhaps drowning out some coarse words towards the referee after that non-call on McLean. We'll never know.
Donnelly and Murillo on the run. Now Donnelly cuts in. The attack continues for North Texas.
Aaron Walker just took another one off the head. Sure he didn't appreciate that one, but it was a good block in the end.
Tough start for Greenville tonight if you think about their 2 key chances. Morrell with a wide open goal, unable to put it home early on, and then Platter, top of the box, McLean and Keegan deciding not to take it, and some miscommunication there a little bit. As Rodriguez stuck in a double team. Rodriguez spins out of it. Over to Roberts, too heavy though, as Donnelly almost intercepting that. Roberts, a boot down. See how he runs on this turf. Hernandez stepping up. Now Che. Back heel by Waldeck. Alvarez on the left side. Service in, falls free, still alive. The quick turn, no good. It's blocked in the end and cleared. Keegan tracks back, steals it from Alvarez. Now Donnelly. Back to Keegan. Not much there. Good coverage on the transition defense by North Texas. Morrell. Walker. Floats it in there, headed on, off the crossbar. McLean, oh, what a save in the end. Aviles is there. A corner kick awarded to Greenville. Greenville denied by their woodwork. What a chance.
The first save was a foot behind him, and then he managed to get back up. What an amazing. If that isn't save of the week, Chris, I don't know what is. I mean, two amazing reflex saves by Carlos. Aviles celebrates by booting it into the night. It was a lovely ball in from Walker. It was a great contact, and Aviles had to scoop it out from behind him. And beautiful stuff from the North Texas keeper.
Short route, Pollock back over to Morrell, onside. Takes on Bonilla. Morrell around the corner. Morrell fires, blocked, and cleared by Roberts.
I had to feel for Aviles after last season. He started 20 games for North Texas and then was benched in the final for Zobek, but he showed there, perhaps as a message to the coaching staff of North Texas, that you can rely on me. That was two amazing saves, world-class stuff from Aviles.
His talents awarded, signing a homegrown contract with FC Dallas this past June. Another brilliant opportunity for Greenville, but unable to put one in. Foul called. This goes over to North Texas as we dwindle on our time here in the first half. Aviles at just 21 years old, 20 starts last year for North Texas, 9 clean sheets.
Yeah, he did.
Yes, it's a more familiar story, Chris, in this game from the League One final. Greenville not putting their chances away. Obviously, in that final, it was more the result of Kyle Zobak's amazing saves, but Greenville really should be 1 or 2-0 up in this game.
Walk over the top. McLean through to the top of the box. Donnelly's over there, slides it on in. Donnelly back over. McLean whiffs it wide, still alive in there, and the cross out of play. And it looks like we do have a corner kick here for Greenville. A PNC corner for kids at the death of the first half.
PNC
Perhaps the referee was going to blow the whistle,
by
but
your Greenville Triumph.
one last chance into the final third. Another corner.
Morrell lofts it in. Headed away. Greenville trying to get one final attack going. No, that is it for the first half. We are at
the end
how
of the
we
first
started,
half, the score is
0-0
12-0,
between these two
North
sides
Texas
as we begin
0.
our Oxford Barber Company halftime report. Chances for Greenville, but unable to put one in.
Yeah, I think John Hart's will be disappointed. His team is still tied nothing at the half, but Eric Grill, I think, will be happy that his team is down, and plenty of work to do for both sides here, especially in the final third.
8th time level at the half for Greenville this season, 5th for North Texas SC as we head into the second half. 0-0 at the break between North Texas and Greenville as we begin our Oxford Barber Company halftime report. Plenty of opportunities here for both sides to maybe try and break through, but they have not been able to find one. Coming up, we'll take a look at the Wednesday action in USL League One as we continue coverage from Greenville. Play will continue. Keegan back across, it's in! Greenville on the board at home, it's 1-1.
So with all the games and the trainings that we have in this lovely South Carolina weather, recovery is obviously very important for us in order to be able to perform on the weekends. And we do a lot of different things as players in order to recover properly. A big thing that we do is we go to Upstate Spine and Sport with Dr. J and his assistants, and they do a great job for us. They do some chiro work, they do some cupping, they'll do stretching, they'll do massage, they'll do a lot of different things for us, and we go there Tuesday every week, and additionally if we need it before the game. And I think it's great for us in order to kind of get through the week of training, because it can be difficult. We push ourselves hard, and then to be rested and ready to go by the weekend.
Welcome back here to Greenville, South Carolina as we begin our Oxford Barber Company halftime report. 2 matches already this week having been completed, Ross, as we take a look at them. Richmond and Fort Lauderdale, 2 teams in the middle of the pack. Well, Richmond a little bit higher up the table, and they would take the opportunity well.
Yeah, they went behind 1-0. This was a sneaky good play here from Ian Frey. What a lovely turn. And then guess who? Ricky Lopez-Espin for the finish.
Yeah, another great finish for him as he went toe-to-toe with Terzaghi in this battle in the Golden Boot race, and of course it would be the Argentine that would have his say, but going a little wide.
Apparently he's not very good with the ball stationary, Chris, but yeah, what a finish he's had. What a start to the season, I should say.
You mentioned stationary. Well, he would find one like this, bending to the far corner. Wow, what a strike.
Listen, we've complained about how much space Terzaghi's had in the box. He had 4 guys on him there, but what a finish inside the far post. And then here he pops up again. He did this against Greenville with a header. Not off a corner, but this time it isn't. Lovely finish by the Argentine.
A brace keeps him in the lead for the Golden Boot at 9 goals. And a 2-1 victory for Richmond. A lot of matches left to be played for the Kickers, but they get the win. 2-1 over Fort Lauderdale CF. Then we moved out west for the remainder of the evening. Tucson and Madison, high-flying action back and forth. We start in the 3rd minute.
Listen, the men in black are playing really well of late. This was a sneaky good finish by Eli Veldsen. It was not the greatest of balls in. You can see here it kind of bubbles to him, and it was almost a half volley. Nice finish to go up 1-0.
3 goals, 3 matches for Eli Veldsen, the Brazilian midfielder. But it would be Madison that would strike just before the halftime break.
Trimming him. Showing some moves for a big man, and a lovely cross. Just as good of a finish, although it kind of snuck inside the post in the end.
Another Brazilian, the forward, Paulo Jr. strikes into the net. 1-1 at halftime. And it would be Tucson that would keep us running into the second half. And just what a beautiful finish.
Yeah, this was a nice cut back on a little turn. Man, you don't get much better left-footed finishes than that.
So Madison, weirdly enough, they set records on the season. Game highs in shots on target, and corner kicks, but they fall 2-1. That is soccer for you folks, as Tucson will head into a battle with Fort Lauderdale tomorrow night. As we continue our Oxford Barber Company halftime report from Greenville, South Carolina, let's check out news and notes for around the USL.
The United Soccer League and its 47th championship in League One clubs stand united in support of diversity, inclusivity, equality, and compassion. Together, we can make a difference. Together, we can create change. Together, we are united against racism.
Over in Spain. This is a pandemic shot from far out, and it's in! Hernandez.
Sosa tees it up. Sosa! Hara keeps this one in favor of Tormenta.
To the end line, Morel puts it over. Pilato fires. It's in! Noah Pilato strikes again! Roberts whips it in there. Tipped away. Just in time by Knight. What a save! Fires in there. Dennis back post. Ellie Belton! For the second straight match, it's the Brazilian.
Far side, Micheletto. Fires one on and a save made. Castanera again.
Let's take a look at news and notes from around the USL. Greenville taking down Chattanooga, getting that 7-point lead on the table as Richmond enjoyed that Wednesday comeback we just showed you. Curtis Thorne getting Player of the Week honors, a new face up there for Tormenta.
Yeah, the pride of Nova Southeastern in only his second pro start. Great to see.
Up there for Team of the Week honors, Fricky Pilato up there as well for Greenville. Nicky Hernandez featuring there for North Texas SC after his second appearance under Eric Quill in the draw with Tucson. Terzaghi and Lopez Espin up there leading the Golden Boot race after their goals Wednesday night. Of course, Hurst also trying to get back out there and healthy again. He should be once again out there starting over the weekend. Something in common among our assist leaders, it's a pretty tight battle so far.
Yeah, listen, Ange Morel, an amazing first season with Greenville. He's been all over the pitch, left, right, center. Out there in the assist lead and very deserving of it.
Unfortunately, Charlie Dennis not with Tucson on Wednesday after his one-game suspension. Our 2 matches on Wednesday going final and 4 matches last Saturday. How about Clint Pierre's side? New England 2 getting the win at Omaha.
Great big upset. We had some upset results all over the place on Saturday. Richmond with that big win Wednesday night, keeping them in the race for the top 2.
And our standings after last weekend, those 2 Wednesday matches, some intrigue entering the weekend away from just tonight. To have some fun, and even tonight, of course, North Texas, they win. They're up into a tie for 5th, and Greenville, of course, trying to run away with this with 3 points this evening. Well, coming up for you tomorrow, a couple of rematches. 3 out of the 4 games are rematches. We start at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Brunch here for you in USL League One. The last time Orlando City B and New England 2 met, red card really had to say a lot in this match early on, and then from there on the defensive wing with Shimazaki going away from this match. It was 2 goals late for OCB, and they took care of business. But now, Ross, a battle of the bottom of the table. It's both teams trying to climb up it. We end the night, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time on the East Coast. It's Fort Lauderdale and Tucson, and what a battle they had to start the year.
Yeah, 2 real late goals for Tucson to pull that one out, and they've jumped up the table lately. It'd be interesting if they could win this one and really get into the mix for the top 2, perhaps.
2 goals late for the first comeback victory of the season after Fort Lauderdale went down 2 men, 2 red cards in that match, and Tucson got the win in their season opener. And they're hoping to get similar success after their 2-1 victory over Madison on Wednesday. A little bit of run now, 3 unbeaten for John Gallus and his side. The upcoming schedule for you, 4 matches for your Saturday. And all matches you can tune in for at different start times on ESPN+, 2 matches midweek as well coming up in the following week of USL League One. As we continue our Oxford Barber Company halftime report, get ready for highlights and stats from our first half here in Greenville.
What's Greenville's best kept secret for auto loans? Greenville Heritage Federal Credit Union. If you're on the market for a new car, visit Greenville Heritage before you start shopping to get pre-approved and save yourself a lot of hassle and a whole lot of money. Or refinance your current car loan for a better interest rate. It's a simple process that could save you hundreds of dollars. Visit greenvilleheritage.com to find the branch nearest you and start saving money. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Welcome back here into Greenville, South Carolina, as we continue our Oxford Barber Company halftime report with our first half highlights here from the upstate of South Carolina. First half highlights presented to you by Greenfield's Bagels and Deli. A lot of chances for Greenville so far, and we got it started early. Unfortunately, an injury along with this, but a great chance for Alex Morel.
This was a disappointing giveaway by Nicky Hernandez. It was great anticipation by Alex Morel. He rounded the keeper, perhaps shoot it right there. He took that one extra touch and then tried to poke it with his right foot instead of perhaps striking it with the left, I think it was. And yeah, chance goes begging for Alex Morel.
What an opportunity to start for Greenville at home. Unable to put it in, though. We skip ahead to the 39th minute. Greenville, plenty of opportunities in this first half. Unable to find one. This is a dribbler right to Aviles. 5 saves. You'll see a few more in just a few moments, but he had a great first half.
Lachlan McLean, a little quiet in the first half. See if John Hart sticks with him here in the second 45. Didn't have a whole lot of attacking options. This was a ball sort of floated in by Walker. He didn't think much of it at first. Headed by Keegan, the save, and then again, Aviles, world-class stuff from the keeper.
Yeah, Keegan denied, and then McLean denied on the second save. What a moment there for the North Texas keeper. And it keeps it 0-0 at the break. And look at this. So many chances for Greenville. And not many really generated by North Texas. They've had so much possession, but unable to find any opportunities really in the box.
Yeah, only the one shot total, not even on goal from North Texas. And Greenville fans will be thinking these stats look a little bit familiar from last year's League One final. But 45 minutes to get things to rewrite history, we'll say.
That's the hope for Greenville, at least this time around. They are the top team in the League One table. North Texas trying to prove that they are back for the second half run to make a run up the table, and certainly they are in this game, to say the least, as we head into the second 45. Let's take a look at the schedule ahead for the Greenville Triumph. Just 4 matches remaining after tonight. This is number 12 tonight for Greenville. We'll see Orlando twice, and of course, the match against Union Omaha and the match at Orlando to end out the season also on the CW62. Then over to North Texas. They have quite a few matches still remaining. Next, they'll see Fort Lauderdale CF before a big matchup at Chattanooga on October 7th.
Even if they're not involved in the race, those matches against Chattanooga and Richmond, they could be playing spoilers, North Texas, no doubt about it.
Back out here to Legacy Early College. Happy to have you with us. Again, I'm Chris McCovic alongside me, Ross Davenport. Rematch of last year's League One final, and it's really played that way. Physicality all over the field and back and forth play up and down. We're in for a treat for this second half. North Texas and Greenville preparing for this second half, and Greenville, they've seen the majority of their goals in the second half this season, 9 of their 14 in fact. North Texas will start with possession. Again, our head referee for tonight's action, William Steffen. Rick Evans, unfortunately, leaving in the first half with injury, so 1 sub and 1 sub stoppage already used for the away side.
Interesting to see how long Eric Quill waits to bring on the powerful duo of Renato Damas and Benny Redzik. Only 1 shot in that first half. He might not wait too long.
Ricardo Pepe, if you're just joining us, back out there starting for North Texas SC. At the top of the formation, Peppy standing over the ball to get.
Clap your hands.
Whistle to the mouth. We're off and running. Second half here from Legacy Early College, North Texas SC, and the Greenville Triumph going at it here in a 2020 rematch of the 2019 League One final. I'm Chris McCovic alongside me, Ross Davenport. Happy to have you with us for some Friday night League One action. Greenville in the green and blue, moving from right to left. North Texas in the white and red, left to right as we get things going.
Seeing some early pressure from Greenville. Didn't see him pressing too much in that first half, but clearly looking to get an early goal here in the first half and really spark this game.
And just one shot not on target for North Texas in that first half. They're second in League One in both shots on target per game and shots per game.
Only had 19.6% possession in that final third of Greenville in that first half. Greenville, meanwhile, spent 36.8% in the North Texas final third. Obviously creating those 11 shots. That'll be a Greenville throw.
Throwing for Murillo, former North Texas SC man. From El Paso, came up through the FC Dallas Academy, then went over to the College of Charleston for 4 years for his collegiate play, before heading back over to the state of Texas, and then of course over to the upstate of South Carolina for his 2020 soccer. Foul called, Keegan goes down. We have a free kick over to the Triumph.
Referee William Stephan has had a number of 50-50 decisions to make in this game so far. Most of them have gone Greenville's way, as you can see the frustration there by Juan Alvarez. He thought he had position. The referee disagreed. Let's take another look at it here. Maybe caught Jake Keegan on the arm and pulled him down with him a little bit, but could have gone either way.
5 shots on target in the first half for the Greenville Triumph. Can they find one here in the 48th? Pollock, service in. Donnelly trying to hit it back across, but off the mark there. It's a goal kick.
Yeah, it's become a trademark at Greenville, this free kick or corner to the back post, looking for J.J. Donnelly to head back across. It was perfectly floated in there by Pollock, but Donnelly's header is certainly not where it was supposed to be. Here's that pressure now again from Greenville.
No changes for either side out of the halftime break. Lee up to McLean. Bonilla, he came on for Evans a few minutes in as that goes out of play. Back to Pollock. McLean. Met by Alvarez. Bonilla also over there. He wins a corner kick. PNC Corners for Kids headed the Triumph way.
Yeah, yeoman's work there from Glasgow McLean. Didn't look like he had much chance of getting the ball across, but got the corner. Let's trot over to the penalty box and see if he can get his head on the end of this one. J.J. Donnelly again at that post, marked closely by Waldeck. Service in. Ball falls free. Donnelly there.
Had an opportunity, but this stopped in its tracks by the flag on the far side.
Yeah, it was a clear shove by Donnelly in the back of Waldeck. Greenville have clearly seen something they think they can exploit with these set pieces. Going line, I'm not sure. Donnelly didn't even really need to do it. It wasn't the best corner. Didn't have as much distance as it perhaps needed, but a silly foul from Donnelly.
We talk about the height matchup as well there with Waldeck and Donnelly.
Definitely a mismatch perhaps Park's trying to exploit. Talked in our conference call about trying to perhaps take advantage of Bonilla, who didn't start the game but ended up coming in. Waldeck has had some worrying moments this season, giveaways leading to goals, but he's played a lot better in the last few games. Cesar Maria trying to get a few extra yards on this throw-in.
Donnelly called for the foul as Waldeck goes down.
Another one of those 50-50 calls. I didn't think Donnelly's foot was particularly high. Perhaps he clipped it. You see Eric Quill getting frustrated. He wants his team to move the ball quicker. Perhaps unlock this Greenville defense somehow.
Waldeck over the top. Bonilla. Noah making the run there is back to Dallas J, the California native.
Something to consider with Ricardo Pepe. He doesn't have much full game action of late. We'll see how long he goes. I think perhaps Damas comes in for him around the hour mark.
Now Pola. Things opening up. Trying to move it right side, but too far for Donnelly.
Both teams a little out of sync in this final third. That last pass just lacking.
Avila's out of the back. Again, 5 saves for the North Texas keeper in that first half. Well, a few matches for you tomorrow, beginning with Orlando City B and New England 2 battling, trying to get out of the bottom of the League One table. League One brunch, as we've been calling it.
Eggs, bacon, and soccer.
Madison, Chattanooga. Get your afternoon going as well. That's a big matchup for the top of the table. And Richmond Kickers going on the road to Union Omaha.
That's a big one.
Finish off with Tucson and Fort Lauderdale. That should be a high-flying adventure for both offenses. Walker chips it in there. Hit away by Bonilla. Back over to Pilato. Now Morel. Blocked by Bonilla. It is a goal kick.
That's the right decision there. Looked like a training ground free kick move from Greenville to try and knock off the timing of the offside trap by North Texas. Some good pressure though to force Maria back. And in the end, it was Greenville's timing that was off. McLean trying to chase this one down.
Very high press for Greenville. Now Keegan. McLean. Back out Keegan. This floats away. And Leon back to Jay, who has to deal with this quickly. Nicely done by Lee.
There's 2 starts for Ricardo Pepe for FC Dallas. Went 59 and 68 minutes.
Morel cross in, floats on through. Murillo's there, Powers one up into the Reedy River Riot. It's a goal kick. On the road, can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC, North America's only 24/7 source of soccer radio, featuring Ray Hudson, Tony Miola, and Rodney Marsh. Fans of the USL can now listen to the best matches of the week, along with action from MLS, the Premier League, and the UEFA Champions League. Sirius XM FC, channel 157 on your Sirius XM radio and the Sirius XM app. Of course, the League One final at the end of October will be on Sirius XM radio. Both these sides would love to be part of that. Greenville in better position for now as this is given away to Keegan. Can't find Donnelly.
Carlos Aviles was almost just undid that great work he did on that double save in the first half, but he got away with this error. Here come North Texas.
Colin Smith, Eric Quill praising his 1v1 ability in space. He takes on Pollock here. Shot comes, and this going wide.
While the result wasn't great, that's exactly what Eric Quill wants to see. One-on-ones with Tyler Pollock, a man that can be beaten for pace at times. Here's that almost critical error by Aviles. Let's give it away to Keegan. It's a good thing Allison was back there to help out. Otherwise, that should have been 1-0.
And all replays tonight presented by the Southern Culture Hospitality Group, as that should be a yellow, and indeed it is on Donnelly, the tug back against Rodriguez. Rodriguez so far pretty quiet, maybe to Greenville's credit. One created chance so far this evening, no shots. Taking a look at what happened.
Donnelly with a poor touch. Another professional foul. We saw the first one on Tyler Pollock. Second one on JJ Donnelly. We'll see, obviously with Omar Mohammed on the bench, Donnelly may make way for Mojo at some point in the second half.
Lee works that to keep it in play for Pollock as he'll clear this briefly up the field. Bonilla will take the throw in, the University of Portland player. Out and Smith giving Greenville the throw in.
We saw how much the substitutions made an impact in last week's win over Chattanooga, Chris. We'll see how long John Harkes waits here to make the change. Doesn't have as much firepower on the bench, obviously, with Keegan starting tonight. So Omar Mohammed, probably the most offensively gifted player on the bench. Still missing Max Hemmings, obviously. Carlos Gomez, another big loss on the offensive side of things.
Bonilla on the sideline, taking the throw in. A look at those Wednesday scores again. Richmond, only 8 matches played entering the week. That's number 9. They get a win. The team probably with the best opportunity if they can get some wins going to threaten Greenville at the top. And then Tucson trying to get some wins together so they can vault up the table just like North Texas. Dale Shore and the side back in action against Chattanooga tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern time.
Emiliano Terzaghi was playing for Greenville in this game, Chris. How many goals would he have so far?
At least the brace he had Wednesday.
Perhaps. Should have had the hat trick if he hadn't missed the penalty.
On that point, you talk about chances. If anyone saw Forward Madison in their match, I mentioned it at halftime. Game high on the season, shots on target, and corner kicks. And as we all know in the game of soccer, sometimes that means you still are on the wrong side of the score column, losing 2-1. 2 goals for Tucson, 2 shots on target they had on the night.
Yeah, chances just like possession. If you don't do anything with them and put them away, then they don't count for much. If you only have 30% possession, but take care of your chances, then you can win games.
Keegan trying to create something there, no one there beside him. As Pollock will send this on back to Jay. Pilado swarming North Texas up ahead. They get out of it just in time. Now they saw him back on the ball. He's been pretty strong after moving into that center back spot following the injury to Evans early on. A spot we've seen him in for 45 minutes this season against OCB.
North Texas had a ton of rotation at right back spot this season. Yeah, the back four's played okay so far. Obviously, Greenville's had a couple of quality chances. That was Especially with the great double save and Morrell with that early miss. 7 shots. I know in the first half, 7 of the 11 shots Greenville took were inside the box. For a makeshift back line, they played okay so far. It's the True Rodriguez playing ball boy. Have to disinfect that one.
Maria will take it. Just saw Damos taking his penny off, maybe getting set to come on shortly.
Breck Evans in the dugout with the crutches doesn't bode well. Especially with, again, 3 games coming up in 8 days starting next weekend for North Texas.
Keegan trying to hold the ball up. Good job by Che, though. Roberts back the other way, chipping it ahead. Now Smith on the run. Pepe into the box. Numbers back for Greenville. Smith gets it over into the side netting.
Yeah, Greenville have plenty of numbers back, thankfully. North Texas with only the 2 guys in the box. Smith did get by Polak, who just done a better job of pulling it back towards Pepe. We know what he can do from any angle. We're going to have a substitution here, I think.
Substitution
called
for
it,
North
Ross,
Texas.
as Pepe's day is done, and Damas will come in and fill that spot. Benny Redzik coming on as well, another great new name and young talent here in USL League One in 2020. Redzik getting a lot of praise from John Hart's honor call this week. He has 3 goals this season and 9 created chances.
Number 21.
Right now, any Greenville defender with tired legs is looking over to that sideline saying, "Oh,
in the 60th minute,
this is a man who can run at you, 2 men that can run at you, beat guys off the dribble." See if these guys can try and unlock this Greenville block. See Ronaldo Damas encouraging players to get forward.
Asian international coming on, 3 goals, 2 assists this season. Now McLean. Up ahead, Donnelly on the run. Donnelly looking in, scoops it over. Morrell heads it down. No one there at the top of the box. Now Walker. Morrell finding a gap in behind. Couldn't work the nutmeg. But Morrell fighting in there is brought down. No, it is going the other way. Free kick to North Texas SC.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the 70th minute, we will no longer be selling alcohol. If needed, you can call an Uber or Lyft to pick you up at the tailgate lot located on Granwood Street. Drive safe and thank you for your cooperation.
Walker. Get the back heel going. Now Roberts finding some space. Still Roberts on the run, brought down by Fricky. Won the ball.
Big tackle there by Brandon Fricky. Here he comes going forward.
Brandon Fricky on the run. Through ball, couldn't get it over to Keegan on the service. Fricky has had that goal this season against Richmond for Greenville. Free kick won by the Triumph. Now Lee. Lotto closed down quickly by Benny Redzik. Alisson winning it back. Out of play, back to the Triumph. Over the top, but too far back to North Texas. It's North Texas doing enough to make Greenville uncomfortable with that quick and high press. Alvarez, the cross in, off the target, back to Jay.
Interesting to see what John Harkes does next year. I think he would be happier with the point than Eric Quill was, obviously, where their teams are sitting in the standings. Harkes doesn't have too, as I mentioned earlier, doesn't have a whole lot of offensive firepower on the bench, except for Omar Mohamed. Obviously, if it was a different scoreline right now, you think Harkes would be bringing on the likes of Stripling and Paul Klaus, but 0-0, we'll see if what his next move is, or his first move, I should say.
Here's the thing this season, Greenville, when they do find those 1-0 wins, they get their goals around this time. 6 goals in the final 30 minutes of matches this season as McLean goes down.
It's been a tough game for William, Stefan. It's just been one of those games where there's been a lot of good, solid aerial duels and 50-50 balls that the balls could have gone either way. I think he's done a good job, though. Players haven't liked the decisions, but I think they've been pretty fair.
Eric Quill said it to us. He's been preaching this final rematch mentality all week, trying to get that final mentality in his players. Ball sent in. Burrell back there. McLean chests it on. No one there.
That's what Alex Morel was trying to do, but I don't know if his little flick attempt put off McLean slightly with his timing. I think it was Polak now.
Now Keegan out wide to the end line. Keegan service in, headed away. Walker losing it to Hernandez. Damas goes down, colliding with Roberts.
Timely trip by Damas. If he had got that ball going the other way quickly, Texas might have had the overload.
Now Morel. McLean back to Morel. Seen this combo before. Can they find it again? Deflected back, still with Morel. Slides it in there, cleared. Shea getting the ball away. Tugged back by Walker on Rodriguez, and there will be yellow.
Referee Stefan remaining consistent. If you're going to pull a jersey back, it's going to be a yellow card, just by the book.
And not yet, at least. He had his hand in the pocket, but then looked at his assistant and then took it out. Either way, here comes Klaus on for Walker.
Substitution for Greenville in the 67th minute. Entering
now here's some tactics for John Harkes.
Number 6.
Does he move Klaus into that Pilato role, or is it more where Walker was? This substitution presented by Spinks. Pilato, we saw, he can get up the field. We've seen it a few times this season. That's something Harkes praised about his goal against Chattanooga. He continued his run as Morel got the ball out wide, along with McLean, of course, contributing to that.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. You can't push too far up against this team now, especially with Damason and Redzik. See how they rotate those two. Klaus more of a defensive player than Aaron Walker, known for his crunching tackles. Looks like he may sit. Looks like Pilato is going to push a little more forward.
Klaus settling back. That roll with the back line a bit more as Polak moves the troops ahead.
John Harkes mentioned Klaus in our call this week, saying that he came back not quickly after the injury, but he really threw him into the fire. I think you remember he started his first game back, perhaps hit the wall a little bit, so he should have some energy here the last 23 minutes after starting the bunch over the last couple of weeks.
J.J. Donnelly winning it back on the interception. Now Morel. Again, Alvarez winning that battle on this near side, throwing for the triumph.
Alvarez might have dropped it right back to Nia, looking like he's dropped back into the middle. Just to provide some fresh legs at the fullback spot.
Redzik playing it up ahead. This will stay in. Damas on the run. Met by Fricky. Flying it in. Back out wide to the left. Rodriguez thinking about the strike. He fires and it goes wide. What a look for the League One MVP.
Good strike. Dallas J, excuse me, not really worried about that one. Didn't move much at all. You don't want to be having Arturo Rodriguez getting open shots from 25 yards.
69th minute, it remains 0-0 between these two. They had 2 scoreless draws last year. Excuse me, the 1 scoreless draw, the 1-0 win for North Texas on this field, and then that crazy 4-0 win for Greenville in Frisco after Edwin Cirillo got that red card in the first half.
Yeah, you can see they're really missing Cirillo in that midfield tonight. Just missing that sort of connection between the midfield and the front three. Play 4-3-3. Does North Texas.
Alvarez with the quick throw in as Redsick will work it around the back. Out of play over to the Triumph. Deflection. In there says our head official. Now what we saw against Chattanooga in the 1-0 victory last week for Greenville. Quick change and some tactics by Harks, and the next second a goal came. See Mohammed standing over there. See who he comes in for along with that.
I think it would naturally be J.J. Donnelly, but Alex Morel has worked his tail off tonight. He's been all over the pitch.
We're hearing it will be Mohammed for Donnelly when the moment comes, which may be now. It will be Omar Mohammed coming on for J.J. Donnelly. Donnelly, another great shift. His physicality in the midfield for Mohammed. This will be appearance number 9 on the season. 1 assist so far. The substitution presented by Spinks. Taken right back by North Texas. Here comes Alvarez up the field. Damas in the box. Deflected out, corner kick to the away side.
Alvarez showing some good legs. Mohammed will come in on that right wing to try and test this back forward. North Texas that are going to be feeling their legs at this point. That short bench, and obviously the use of Bonilla earlier. There's no real defensive substitutes on the bench. For North Texas, you've got David Rodriguez as the only outfield player left on the bench now. Obviously a midfielder.
North Texas yet a shot on target tonight, and they find one here. They average about 5 per game. Alvarez ball in, headed up. Milano will help this along. There's a stat there. It's been quite a while since we've seen a scoreless draw here in League One. Had a couple to start the year. That involved Greenville, Madison, Hart Park back in the end of July. If you can remember back to that point, the season has been so quick. And it's Brandon Fricky that's taking a moment there, but we will continue. Stays with North Texas, nearly the same spot. Damas out of play, back to Greenville. Greenville this season right where they have been and I guess want to be, leading the league in minutes tied in matches this season. Clutch with those late goals so far. The only team that has trailed less than 100 minutes this year in League One. Trying to keep that alive as it goes out of play. They don't want to add to that with the North Texas goal late. But now, the question is, Greenville changed their tactics with Muhammad out there. They have 13 shots, 5 on target. Chances have been there tonight. Looking for that finish now. It took Noah Pilato, the 84th last week. What will it take tonight with 16 minutes plus stoppage time remaining? And you're right, Ross, before you noted Bonilla moving inside. Seems like almost Che and he are working as center backs in possession. Alisson is up the field more as a midfielder. Almost a two-man back line out there for Eric Quill.
Listen, they know they need these 3 points desperately. Coming out of here with a point, I'm sure it diminishes their playoff chances by quite a bit. Don't let this man shoot.
Hernandez gets it blocked. Pilato was there. We will have our second half hydration break. On that note, and to your point, Ross, exactly how Hernandez found his goal last week against Tucson from far out. Pilato knew that. Well, let's check out the match we didn't get to show you at halftime. It's Chattanooga and Madison meeting up at Hart Park in tomorrow's battle, and we'll take you back through some of the highlights from last year's meetings. Some crazy matches between these two. Remember that goal off of Ziguro in the post. He's at FC Tulsa now. Nunez, an old face for Madison. He found the scoring sheet. All 3 of these goals in a 5-minute stretch in this match. Silvestri, who's now in USL Championship with Miami FC, couldn't keep that one out.
Yeah, Madison appeared to be perhaps dead and buried after that loss Wednesday night. Chattanooga could really do with the 3 points as well if they're going to keep up with the likes of Richmond and Greenville. Should be an interesting one.
Madison, just like North Texas and Tucson on Wednesday, really needing the points to launch themselves up the table. The good thing for Madison is they have only 9 matches played so far, so they can have their opportunities ahead of them. Can they seal them? They're undefeated at home this year at Hart Park. After playing only 3 matches so far at home, they're looking to continue that down the stretch. Haven't seen Muhammad really be able to get into the match the last few minutes after coming on and his 1v1 ability. As you can hear at home, very windy here at Legacy Early College. It's been a fun one to say the least, but no goals on the board to this point.
It's been a much tighter second half, Chris. You wonder, is it going to come down to a magic or perhaps an error? 13 minutes to go, some tired legs out there.
Jay will send it off into the night. Now wide, Morel's going to have to chase this one against Waldeck. Morel. Double team with Rodriguez as well. Losing it there. Now Klaus. No one stepping up to make the run. He thought maybe a teammate was there. Instead, it's North Texas the other way. That was a little bit shorter on the heat than Damas would have been wide open in space. Instead, it's out for a Greenville throw-in.
Don't want to see that man chasing balls in space. Luckily, that one was a little too wide and rolled out for the Greenville throw.
Five saves so far for Aviles. None having to be made by Dallas J.
Is there any need to vote for save of the week this week, Chris? Just give it to him after this game, probably. I would think.
Exactly.
Although
2-in-1 play. Hey.
Dallas J may have something to say. We haven't had one of his trademark yet in this game.
I mean, that's been the thing this season. Jay coming up with 1 or 2 huge saves to seal a result for Greenville. As many as the opportunities North Texas has seen, have not found that chance to really test the keeper. That goes out back to North Texas. is Mohammed on this left flank. Ball sent ahead, the run by Roberts, met by Fricky. Keeps it in play, but no foul is called on Roberts.
Looking for Dallas J to come help him out. Dallas J wasn't coming. It's a long way to go for Brandon Fricky to shepherd that ball, and Roberts thinks that was a little harsh.
Homegrown signing for FC Dallas back in 2018. Last year for North Texas, 2 goals, 1 assist, and 11 starts. Making start number 6 here this year. Muhammad goes down, and he wins possession for Greenville as we're ticking into the 81st.
Redsick trying to stop the quick free kick, and referee let him get away with it. He's had enough of verbal from somebody.
Thought he was going after Arturo Rodriguez, but instead someone else. It's Alvarez on this near side that's getting a talking to.
Looks like he was complaining he got hit in the face by an elbow.
Stays with Greenville. Greenville testing out the right flank. Ball shoved in, brought down, but no one there at the top to recover. It's back to North Texas. Another foul here on an aerial duel as McLean goes down. So far, 2 subs used by John Harks and 3 for Eric Quill. We'll say 5 total and 3 substitution periods.
I was going to say, Chris, the Greenville chiropractor is going to have another busy week with Lachlan McLean. He was battered last week against Chattanooga, especially in the back like that foul there. And he's been a few times tonight. He's taken it in the spine, but he's got up every time like a champ.
Triumph do have a new face we have yet to see, and Matt Powell, the California native, on the team.
Yeah, nice signing there, obviously with the loss of Harry Hawkins. I'm not sure how long that'll be for, but he was providing center back depth somewhere that Greenville needed help with, so Powell's been a nice addition. Here goes Mojo.
Muhammad knocked off the ball there, clean challenge. Redsick. Here come the defending champions, trying to steal one on the road to the corner flag. And if Greenville finds the win here, they would be 10 points clear at the top of the table. Damas goes down, we play on. Roberts gets it blocked by Keegan. Now Redsick stuck against a double team. He fights out of it. North Texas going into a tie for 5th if they're able to get the victory tonight on the road. Alison up in the midfield now. He works it wide to Alvarez. Rodriguez is also there. Slides it in, Damas out wide. Alvarez over and fisted away by Jay. Gets a breathing room here in the 84th.
Yeah, North Texas pushing bodies forward here now with desperation, looking for this winner.
Roberts shoves it in there. Cleared with the header from Lee. Shot comes, Redzik. And Fricky is there leading the team in blocks. He finds another.
Corner kick for North Texas.
Two center backs blocked a ton of shots last week against Chattanooga. Doing the same again tonight.
Corner kick to North Texas SC. Ball lofted in. Damas putting that wide. As it was he and Che, I believe, that went after it.
Let's take another look at that one. It's a nice corner in by Redzik. Damas found himself a little bit stuck on each other's way perhaps there. Che might have had a better look at it coming from that back post area. Just a lack of communication.
Jay drives it downfield. Still yet to face a shot on target. In the second half, no shots on target for either side.
It's been a bit more of a battle of attrition in this second half. A lot more structure to both teams set up. First half was a little loose at times. So teams taking some more risks. Maybe somebody takes one big risk here and results in a goal for one of the teams. The referee's going to let that one go.
Here come the Triumph. Morrell into the box. Sends it over. The shot comes. It's in. Greenville on top. Jake Keegan on the service from Morrell. It's 1-0.
The North Texas players are very upset. There wasn't a call just before that in the midfield. He's been letting them play this evening. Another late, perhaps, winner for Greenville. Let's take another look at it here. Here was the potential foul from behind on Maria. Redzik went down very easily. That's Morrell finding himself in some space. Cut back ball and Keegan with a nice late run. With the finish, North Texas thought they could get Greenville perhaps with the cutbacks, and this time it's Morrell finding Jake Keegan back on the score sheet again.
That goal, of course, brought to you by Jake Keegan and Murph. Ball off Sin and right off the chest of Jay as he holds it together. Mario. McLean in the corner. Out of play for just that, a corner. PNC corner for kids. Morrell will take it. 5th goal of the season for Keegan. Had a bit of a lull there, but finding his scoring form again. And of course it helps when you have service from Morrell. And that should give him the lead in assists here in League One with his 5th of the season. Mario thought about the volley there, didn't get a chance to it. Now North Texas with the clearance. Perfect record in terms of wins for Greenville this season when they do get the first goal. Now Muhammad getting through the traffic. It's been the problem for North Texas this season. That's the 5th goal allowed in the final 15 minutes of matches overall.
Yeah, just switched off for a second. Jake Keegan, as we said, he's quite capable of playing that 10 role. making that lovely late run as all the attention was really on McLean, and it was a quality composed finish.
Sub getting set to come on for North Texas, it seems. This ball floats, still alive for Greenville and Morrell. Now Waldeck takes it back. It's David Rodriguez getting set to come on late here, trying to make a difference. We should have a bit of time here in stoppage time, to say the least, with that hydration break. It's 6 minutes at the end of the first half. There's David Rodriguez, who'll get on the field alongside Arturo. As Waldeck will come off, clearly more offensive substitution.
Yeah, North Texas will go 3 at the back now as they look for this critical 3 points that perhaps, let's say 1 point, that could perhaps keep the season alive. A loss here would be really devastating.
4 minutes of stoppage time as this cross comes in. Back post, no one there. Stoppage time presented by Warehouse Services Incorporated. It's back over to the Triumph.
Cesar Maria will take his time, as I say, against his former team. Important 3 points for him for sure. Played well that right back spot this evening.
Now, one thing about that cross from Morrell, I noticed it was a lot higher up the box than the others so far tonight. A lot of them right in front of goal, trying to get that first header in. That one kind of more of a drawback approach, and Keegan was sitting there. We've seen it multiple times tonight where the header comes back to the top of the box. No one's there. This time it was Keegan in the middle. A good adjustment maybe by Morrell, along with his striker, Keegan. North Texas trying to respond. Roberts flicks one in there, cleared by Keegan. These tight results, the forte of Greenville in their young history. So you see 14-7 and 1-0 results. On the losing end of one of those this season against New England 2 on the road.
So we've said it so many times, Chris, this is a team built to win 1-0 basically, although Omar wants to make it 2 perhaps.
Open room for McLean in the middle, floats it through, McLean's in! McLean shoots high out of play. Aussie asking for one there.
You know how much John Harkes wants that second goal. How much more his heart can take of these 1-0s.
Well, the Magic hold true again with some late ending drama and a goal scored for the Triumph. Klaus just burning some time with this one.
He was having a go, Chris. John Harkes talked in practice about how Aaron Walker, he told Aaron Walker to shoot from 40 yards and he chipped the keeper out. Paul Klaus clearly remembering his instructions from this week. Had a go. It's worth a shot.
That was a funny conversation with Harkes. It seemed like he was implying that Pilato just does the instructions on the field, but for Walker and Klaus when shooting, maybe if you don't tell them, they won't line in there and take it. Well, Klaus maybe looking for the chip there. It's one thing we saw Walker add to his game the second half of last year. A couple of goals after Keegan went down. Back on the attack, North Texas. Out wide, Alvarez. The defending champions looking to crush this party. Alvarez, good service in. No, it is behind the goal. The top netting, and we will have
Greenville
a sub here.
In the 94th minute. Entering the match,
Andrew Booth coming in as the Triumph car drives away.
Number 14, Lachlan McClain.
McClain will come off. Booth coming on, the new addition in his third appearance.
The car always leaves a little early, Chris. It's a good thing it hasn't left too early because it would have missed the last 2 game-winning goals. Obviously, the last one on the road.
A substitution presented by Spinks. It's Booth who can play in the midfield or drop it right back, as we've seen so far this season. Comes on. Final few moments, maybe here from Legacy Early College as North Texas tries to respond. Good combo play here. No, Benny Redsick sends it out of play. A check of the watch. Mario over to the ball. John Hark's telling us it would be an emotional game for him against his former club. Came up through their academy, knows a lot of these opposing players as friends. Trying to get the win with his new club here. We're headed down the field with the Triumph once again. And there is the final whistle. Late magic again for the Triumph. They are now 10 points clear at the top of the League One table. 1-0 over North Texas.
Yeah, they had all those first half chances that went begging, and then second half things tightened up a bit, but Alex Morrell once again to the rescue, servicing Jake Keegan in the middle, and a great finish by the former Binghamton star.
John Harkes and the Greenville Triumph now up to 28 points on their season, 6-0 at home at Legacy Early College. What an enticing match, physicality up and down the field. Funny enough, Dallas J got a night off in terms of saves. No saves having to be made, 0 shots on target for North Texas. A lot of credit to the guys in front of them.
We said the referee had a ton of 50-50 calls to make during this game, and it was one that he didn't make. North Texas, you can see, are still reminding him about that led to the goal. Obviously, it still had to be finished. Something Greenville struggled with in the first 45, but another 1-0 win and almost step towards that home final.
And a reminder, upstate of South Carolina, you get a discount on your car wash with the clean sheet today, thanks to Dallas J and the Greenville Triumph defense at Finn's Car Wash. Number 8 in clean sheets this season, and his .55 GAA will go down from there. Well, it's 1-0 as the final in favor of the Greenville Triumph. The leaders get it done once again late. We'll take you through how they did it with highlights and stats coming up after this from the upstate of South Carolina. Keegan back across, it's in! Greenville on the board at home, it's 1-1.
So with all the games and the trainings that we have in this lovely South Carolina weather, recovery is obviously very important for us in order to be able to perform on the weekends. And we do a lot of different things as players in order to recover properly. A big thing that we do is we go to Upstate Spine and Sport with Dr. J and his assistants, and they do a great job for us. They do some chiro work, they do some cupping, they'll do stretching, they'll do massage, they'll do a lot of different things for us, and we go there Tuesday every week, and additionally if we need it before the game. And I think it's great for us in order to kind of get through the week of training, because it can be difficult, we push ourselves hard, and then to be rested and ready to go by the weekend.
Carolina, and a look at Dallas J. Our save of the match, well, no saves, and that's probably the way John Harkes likes it.
No doubt.
Save of the match would have been brought to you by the YMCA of Greenville. I guess you could give one in for that late block from Brandon Fricky, but other than that, solid night for the Greenville defense as we get set to check out our highlights from Greenville, South Carolina. And let's take a look at the opportunity that sealed things later on. Our highlights presented by Wilson and Engelbart. And watch this build up And if there's one person you want open, it's Alex Morel on the wing.
Yeah, it was an undercut by Klaus, and then Rezic went down a little easy under the challenge from Murillo, and then here comes Morel. Watch Keegan now. Makes the little run, stops there, finds the open space, and then a solid right-footed finish past Avilés.
Great finish there by Keegan, and the service from Morel. He's now first in League One in total assists this season at 5. It's such a key piece of the Triumph attack coming over from South Georgia Tormenta. Well, the Reedy River Riot in celebration, and luckily for Greenville, had so many chances overall, they do get the goal out of it.
Yeah, I think in the grand scheme of things, they deserved the win. North Texas probably had the better of the second half, but it was the one goal. We knew it was coming at some point, whether it was it just seems like Greenville, you expect them to score now in the last 15 minutes. They just put that pressure on, and the teams just wilt down the stretch.
It was a long night of waiting for those across South Carolina to get that winning goal, but they do find it. Let's see where the goals might come from tomorrow in our League One slate. We start League One brunch, as we've been calling it, up at 11 a.m. Eastern time as you're getting set for your day. Tune in on over with us on ESPN Plus, Orlando City B and New England 2, a rematch after a red card. Kind of tainted things there for New England 2, OCB 2 second-half goals to get the win.
Yeah, two teams at the bottom of the table, or close to the bottom of the table, but a lot of young talent on display in that contest.
Then we move over 2 p.m. Eastern time. Madison and Chattanooga treating us to a great battle last year with 3 goals over the course of 5 minutes off the post. Iguro helping out Madison to that one. We had Josiel Nunez, who was one of the best creators last year across USL League One. He found a finish. And then Chattanooga having to say as well a few minutes later. But a high-flying battle, 2 offenses that are going to be great to see together out there.
Yeah, 1 goal separates these 2 teams in their 3 meetings, and it should be a fun one, especially as both sides desperate for the 3 points.
And that at Hart Park in Wisconsin. As Chattanooga getting healthy once again. As we take a look at Fort Lauderdale and FC Tucson, they'll finish off the night, 10:30 p.m. Eastern time. Lopez Espin getting a hot start going for Fort Lauderdale, but then 2 red cards for Fort Lauderdale CF, and then 2 goals for FC Tucson. They got it done in the season opener.
Yeah, Tucson coming on strong here late. One of the hottest teams in the league. Sort of put themselves back in the race. 3 points here would really legitimize them, but we'll see if they can pull it out.
They have 4 of their final 6 at home this season, and FC Tucson a great opportunity to make a run as we head down the stretch this season. One matchup we didn't show you, Richmond Kickers and Union Omaha. And that perspective, interesting to see how Sawatsky and his high-flying offense, they like to use the width. They handle a small park like Warner Park in Omaha.
There'll be plenty of eyes on that one, with fans and other teams. The other teams will be looking for the draw, I'm sure, in that contest.
Well, 10 points clear. Greenville, 4 matches remain. This win tonight going a long way to getting them to the League One final if it does. And, of course, Richmond, a huge match against Omaha. They're 3v4 at Warner Park. It's going to be a fun one, 8 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow night on ESPN Plus. All 4 of those matches, in fact, on ESPN Plus. Well, we saw the Treen go by a few times. We saw a few chances go by for Greenville, and it took until late in the match to find that winner, and this time it was Jake Keegan. Really a physical battle overall between the two for our entire crew. Alongside me, Ross Davenport, I'm Chris Makoviak. 1-0 the victory for the Greenville Triumph. 10 points clear at the top of the table. We'll see you for our matches tomorrow across ESPN Plus.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.